We all come in blind, we're all on the same page. Man, that's exciting.
Looking for fish number 2 would prove a little tougher.
We need about 10 more like this and we're gonna have something. They were making mud bulls left and right. Finally, I got one of them to bite. It looks like everybody's having a tough day. So far, there's only 4 fish weighed. I told the guy, I said, I'm gonna go to my 3-pound hole.
3 pounds even, 3.10.
Never thought I'd be winning a tournament with 3-pounders.
Welcome to the Tidewater Boats Elite Fishing League presented by Yamaha Outboards. Welcome to Winning Ways. I'm Pat Malone, and in this episode, a recap, a review, a look back at Mark Robinson's exciting victory at the Compadres Challenge and how he punched his ticket to the 2020 Tidewater Boats Tour Championship.
What I like about this tournament is we all come in blind, we're all on the same page. You're not competing against somebody that's been there pre-fishing for 2 weeks. We're all coming in this together and we're all fishing the same waters and we don't know where that is.
This is Mark's only chance to qualify for the 2020 Tidewater Tour Championship. In his first opportunity, he had to withdraw as his wife went into labor and gave birth to their first baby.
So since I missed the first qualifying round, I'm nervous. I haven't been here yet. These guys have all competed. I'm going against these guys that are pros. It's been a lifelong dream to fish something like this. You know, this is one of the tournaments. This is the biggest of the biggest. You know, it's the best of the best. We've got everybody here from, all over the United States. They're coming here to compete. Everybody's here to compete. Everybody wants to win just as bad as I do, if not more. They're good anglers, and it's just going to be one of those things. We don't know where we're at. I don't know where we're fishing. I haven't been able to do any pre-fishing whatsoever. The best fisherman's going to win.
It's going to be a tough challenge for Mark. You've got guys like Kevin Harvey, Bill Coleman, Austin Angel, and our only lady angler, Stacy Fertina. They can all catch them, and they've had the experience of having a qualifying round behind them. They understand the format. They're used to the procedures. Mark isn't.
So the first day, we get our text, and they tell us where to meet the group. We end up meeting at La Berge in Lake Charles. So I'm like, okay, we're going to Louisiana to fish. So I'm looking at maps, studying the little areas. I'm assuming we're fishing Louisiana. We get there, we turn around and we drive back to Texas. Or I drive back to Texas and I'm like, holy cow, we're going back to Texas.
We're heading an hour and a half west to a little town in Texas called Winnie, where there probably is not a saltwater venue within 60 miles. And these anglers have no idea what's in store for them.
So the first morning, half of us are supposed to fish, but we're all there. So I'm like, what's happening? Are we all fishing against each other? So then we come around, we all draw a chip. I thought I was going fishing today, and he was like, drew a black card, you're staying here, go back to bed. I was like, kind of threw a curveball at us.
More anxiety for Mark Robinson in his first EFL round. He had sat around for another 24 hours waiting for his shot to make his mark.
Today is day 2 elimination round.
It's game day. We're heading out. We don't know where we're going yet. We get told on the way out of the parking lot which ramp to head to. We're fishing Sabine Lake today and the marsh. We can go into Louisiana Marsh a little bit.
Mark's is a Texas guy. I'm a South Louisiana guy. Going into elimination round 2, myself, I thought Mark Robinson, being from Texas, I think he was going to be the guy I was going to have to catch and beat. Hey, Mark! Watch. I'm going to get him to say yeah. Mark! Fishing for second? Yeah, see, second. I got him. He's done.
This tournament is totally different than what we're used to. Usually we're chasing 8-pounders, 9-pounders. That's what we want. We want the biggest slot fish we can catch. But this tournament, we're just trying to catch fish, and we're in a confined area. We have boundaries. We can't go out of those boundaries. We have to fish in one little location. So that's a great thing. For me, I know some spots. I fish every day. I'm a fishing guide, so that's what I do. I put people on fish. I have to find new fish all the time. So not having to chase these 8, 9-pounders is pretty nice. I can just go out there and catch fish and have fun. So we take off. I'm on my 30-minute ride through. So I go straight out into Sabine Lake. I'm looking for schools of redfish on top, busting water. I find some bait. I found a big school of bait, so I sat there for probably 15 minutes just waiting, hoping a school would rise up to the top. I came to a little area where I've caught them before right here quite a bit, and just kind of scoping it out, see if I can see anything happening. If I don't see anything, I'm gonna run on and just go do some blind fishing, but I just want to give this a couple minutes. So during the ride around, found some bait. I sat there for probably 30 minutes. It didn't pan out. So I'm like, all right, we got to go to another spot. I take off to another spot. I pull in, The water was horrible looking. It was all fresh and I didn't see any bait. But way up on the shoreline, I saw some mullet jumping and I saw some splashes. So I said, I'm gonna go up there. We pulled up there into that cove, wakes started taking off everywhere. I pull him up, I put him in the net. He's looking pretty slim. See my first practice fish here. I'm gonna weigh him anyway, just to try, you know. It's only gotta be 3 pounds, so what the heck? Let's give it a shot. It'll be 3 pounds.
2.40 pounds, non-scoreable.
Almost. No good. He's out, doesn't count. So that fish was just a waste of time. I saw some big wakes right here, so I know there's some fish here. Good sign, give me a little confidence, now we can grind it out.
Born in the South, crafted with distinction, engineered to fish. Tidewater Boats has developed into the fastest growing marine brand. Pleasure fishing boats 18 to 32 feet. Whether you are on the water with family and friends or tournament fishing, Tidewater Boats. See a local dealer and pick out yours today. Tidewater Boats is the official boat of the Elite Redfish series.
At the pinnacle of super high output, 4-stroke outboard performance, you'll find Yamaha VMAX SHO. Yamaha's game-changing SHO technology. From exhilarating V6 models to the sleek inline 4s, there's a VMAX SHO for everything from bass to bonefish. It's an extended family of 4-strokes engineered for lightweight, inspiring performance, and rock-solid reliability. Discover VMAX SHO and elevate your expectations.
When you make your living on the water, you don't get rain delays. We trust Frog Togs to keep us out on the water and in the boat, even on wet and cold days. The all-new Pilot Pro Series features maximum water holdout, industry-leading breathability, and zip-in liners for both jackets and bibs for those frosty mornings. And best of all, it provides rock-solid performance and function. So wear what the pros wear. Visit frogtogs.com to get your gear today.
See my first practice fish here.
2.40 pounds, non-scoreable.
Almost. So after that first fish, I kept seeing wakes. They kept busting off, mud boils. I was casting to them. I couldn't get anything to bite. I go for about 20 minutes, and finally I make a flip to one. He's about 10 yards from the boat. I flip to him, he eats it. I got it. Now I'm excited, I've got a fish. I get him in, net him, put him on the scale.
3.90 pounds, it's a scoreable fish.
All right, I got my first fish here. I'm on the board, 3.9, something like that, but man, that's exciting.
An hour and a half in, Mark had his first EFL fish on the board. Landed, weighed, and released, and moving on. Looking for fish number 2 would prove a little tougher.
So I'm in this area, I'm in the little pocket, I'm going down, and there's some wakes taking off. Here, there's a little wake, and then I troll out a little bit. There's a little bird out there pecking around by this pole, and he kept tweet, 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 tweet. I have to listen to the bird this time. He's trying to help me out. That bird's trying to tell me something. So I loop out there kind of by that bird, and I come back into the bank, and then all these wakes take off. Mud boils were going all under the boat. And I'm like, okay, there's some big ones right here. So I cast in there. I cast about, I don't know, I cast a few times, several times I cast in there. And I finally get that thump. And I hook up, and I can tell he's a big one. He's pulling drag. I got a good fish on. And this is what I'm looking for. Oh, he's in the net. That's what we're looking for right there. That's a stud.
8 pounds even.
8 pounds even?
Yes, sir.
We need about 10 more like this, and we're gonna have something. They were making mud boils left and right. Mud boil, mud boil, mud boil. Finally, I got one of them to bite. So I move up into first place. So I know there's score tracers going off. So I'm hoping that this makes them a little bit nervous.
Mark Robinson's just caught his second fish. He weighed 8 pounds even.
God.
That puts him at 11.9 pounds in first.
Can't let it affect you, but
That moves you into second, still with 7.65 pounds. You're 4.35 pounds out of the lead.
there was somebody who was going to do well. Mark was going to be one of them for sure.
I've got 11 something pounds, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. I need to catch some more of these fish. I know they're there. I saw 20 of them take off. I do know where there's some at. Over there, there were some fish. We caught 3, missed 2. I'll give them a little bit, give them about 10, 15 minutes. So I'm gonna run this bank right here, and I'm gonna go back over there and try to get back on. So I'm just gonna keep working down the bank. I'm gonna let that calm down for a little bit, and I'm gonna go back around and I'm gonna hit it again. And my plan is to stay here and finish out the morning period.
It looks like everybody's having a tough day this morning. So far there's only 4 fish weighed, but I'd rather it be slow than good.
Yeah, I'm just right there. I think I just took the lead, period 1, 30 minutes left. I should be dominating this thing.
Kevin, that last fish moved you in the first place with 14.05 pounds and moved Mark Robinson in the second with 11.9.
I look over and it was like a big old pumpkin just sitting on top of the water. Put it on the scale, look over, and sure enough, 10.00.
Pretty fish, 10 pounds, baby.
Bill Coleman, 10-pound fish. So now I'm getting nervous. I only have a little over 11 pounds, and he's right at my heels with a 10-pounder. So if he catches one more, he's gonna blow me away.
Well, Bill caught him a big one, huh?
10 even.
Why couldn't it have been a little bit more? Would have been a whole lot cooler. There's a couple fish right here, they're blowing up, but cannot make them bite.
So period 1 is coming to an end. I get the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We tried. We're still in second place right now, but we got all afternoon to do some making up, and I think we'll be able to do it. Oh man, that's frustrating. Catch only 2 weighers. You gotta go hard, all in or nothing. I'm not fishing for second, so.
We gotta go to the dock. I'm cutting across the bay, coming back, and what do you see out there? The first spot that I went to, looking for the bait, my first gut instinct to fish, there they are. They were there. They're jumping out of the water. There's a football field full of fish just jumping out of the water, feeding. But I can't cast. I gotta head into the dock for our break.
When you make your living on the water, you don't get rain delays. We trust Frog Togs to keep us out on the water and in the boat, even on wet and cold days. The all-new Pilot Pro Series features maximum water holdout, industry-leading breathability, and zip-in liners for both jackets and bibs for those frosty mornings. And best of all, it provides rock-solid performance and function. So wear what the pros wear. Visit frogtogs.com to get your gear today.
At the pinnacle of super high output, 4-stroke outboard performance, you'll find Yamaha VMAX SHO, Yamaha's game-changing SHO technology. From exhilarating V6 models to the sleek inline 4s, there's a VMAX SHO for everything from bass to bonefish. It's an extended family of 4-strokes engineered for lightweight, inspiring performance, and rock-solid reliability. Discover VMAX SHO and elevate your expectations.
Born in the South, crafted with distinction, engineered to fish. Tidewater Boats has developed into the fastest growing marine brand. Pleasure fishing boats 18 to 32 feet. Whether you are on the water with family and friends or tournament fishing, Tidewater Boats. See a local dealer and pick out yours today. Tidewater Boats is the official boat of the Elite Redfish series.
Welcome back to this EFL Winning Ways presentation.
All right, well, that was a nice little break.
I grab me a quick bite to eat. I tell my cameraman and the referee, I say, hey, let's get out there as soon as we can. We don't have time to mess around. As soon as we're released, we need to go. All the other anglers were there. They were antsy. Everybody was having a hard time finding fish, so I knew I had to get back on those fish if I could.
The Tidewater Boats Elite Fishing League, presented by Yamaha Outboards. Also brought to you by Frog Togs, McClain Trailers, and many other fine sponsors.
All right, we're gonna do a little different game plan for second period over here. We're gonna go fish out in the middle of the bay a little bit. Those fish should be coming up to the top. It's getting hotter. Usually when it gets hot, they float to the top and they'll start feeding on the minnows and stuff that are up on the top. So we're gonna go check that out real quick and hopefully they're there. If they're not, I'm gonna probably fish the intercoastal or the marsh a little bit. Do something a little bit different than this morning. Hopefully it works out.
As the day progressed, and with Fertina and Coleman struggling, this quickly became a 3-man battle. Austin Angel, Kevin Harvey, and Mark Robinson would all fight for that final spot in the 2020 Tidewater Tour Championship.
It was about a 20-minute run. That ate up pretty much all of my scouting time. We get to the spot. I idle around over there for 45 minutes. So now I'm into my fishing time. I'm eating up valuable fishing time looking for these fish, but there's bait everywhere. A little pop here, a little pop there, but they never went off. I could never find that school.
We were only in the dock for 30 minutes and now I can't find them yet, but there's a ton of bait right here, so I know we're in the right spot. They're right here somewhere. We just got a minute to sit here and wait a few minutes before we come back up. Really need that sun to come out. When the sun comes out, that bait floats up and they go to work on them. So hopefully they'll come back up and show themselves and we can get on them.
So I'm sitting there looking for these fish. I don't have any score trackers going off, so I know I still got a little bit of time. Nobody's caught a fish yet, so I give it another 15 minutes, looking around. I cast a few times, no bites. So then I know, I was like, I've already killed 30 minutes. I need to get to a spot. So we take off, we run across the bay, and I'm just brainstorming. I'm like, I said, I got a spot. I fished here about 5 years ago one time, and we caught some 3-4 pounders. So I was like, I told the guy, I said, I'm gonna go to my 3-pound hole, just kind of joking around. I'm thinking, we've got an outgoing tide coming out of the marsh. It's just been going out all day long. The tide's been coming out. So I was like, I'm gonna go fish the drains. This marsh is huge. It's, I don't know how many acres it is, probably 30,000, 50,000 acres of marsh. And it's all draining out into the bay right there. So I was like, I'm gonna go fish the shorelines between the drains. Up in the drains is actually off limit. It's out of our boundaries. But I have to stay on the outside of the drains and just work the shorelines. So I figured if I could cover enough shoreline, I could find a straggler fish here and there. There's a few mullet jumping, not much. The water's kind of dirty, but I'm gonna put on my black Berkeley Gulp ripple mullet because I know it catches fish all the time. That's my #1 bait in a redfish tournament that I'll throw. I've got so much confidence in that bait, it's incredible. So I put on my ripple mullet and I start heading down the bank. And shortly after, I get a bite.
Please be 3 pounds.
I get him in, put him in the net, and I tell the guy, I said, I told you this is a 3-pound hole.
3 pounds even.
Perfect. Yeah. Went to my pencil hole and I got me a pencil.
Got a 3-pounder on the board, so I'm moving up. I'm in first place.
I've fished here a long time ago, about 5 years ago I fished here and we caught a bunch of little fish, so I figured I'd come over here and hopefully I can catch a bunch of little fish and maybe do enough to put me on top, you know? Because I see look like we got a little rain coming, and hopefully if it does rain, that might be the best thing that ever happened to us. To keep everybody else from catching them, and I can still catch these in the rain.
So I'm going down the shoreline, score tracer starts going off. Paul's catching a few fish, Austin's getting some fish. He's also getting some penalties, which I like penalties with other anglers. So I go down a little further, I catch a small fish. I'm like, well, that's not gonna do me any good. I keep going, I'm working the bank, I come around a corner, I get on a little straightaway, I get hammered, big bite. I go to set the hook, wham, break my line. Now I got a penalty.
That was a good bite right there. My best bite I've had. It hurt your feelings right there. Man.
I'm in timeout, I can't do anything but laugh and cry a little bit.
Nothing worse than sitting in first and then you get 2-minute penalty right when you have a fish. I had that little wind knot in my line from a while ago and I didn't take it out. I was like, I'll be all right, I'm just catching small ones, and that one smoked it.
So this is my first penalty. I break off. If you break your line, you get a penalty. That's 2 minutes. You can't cast, you can't tie. So I got broken line. I'm just standing there, twiddling my thumbs, nothing to do for 2 minutes. It seems like 2 hours. And I'm like, I got a fish. I got a bait jumping in front of the boat. I just missed my best bite on that shoreline. I knew it was a big one. So I'm sitting there.
3, 2, 1, may return to fishing.
I tie on another jig head real fast. Knotty hookers are the best. I tie on another knotty hooker jig head, another black gulp. I get up there, I start fishing.
Hopefully that was the start of a bunch of fish. Not just that one, because that one hit it hard like a good fish.
Born in the South, crafted with distinction, engineered to fish. Tidewater Boats has developed into the fastest growing marine brand. Pleasure fishing boats 18 to 32 feet. Whether you are on the water with family and friends or tournament fishing, Tidewater Boats. See a local dealer and pick out yours today. Tidewater Boats is the official boat of the Elite Redfish series.
At the pinnacle of super high output, 4-stroke outboard performance, you'll find Yamaha VMAX SHO, Yamaha's game-changing SHO technology. From exhilarating V6 models to the sleek inline 4s, there's a VMAX SHO for everything from bass to bonefish. It's an extended family of 4-strokes engineered for lightweight, inspiring performance, and rock-solid reliability. Discover VMAX SHO and elevate your expectations.
When you make your living on the water, you don't get rain delays. We trust Frog Togs to keep us out on the water and in the boat, even on wet and cold days. The all-new Pilot Pro Series features maximum water holdout, industry-leading breathability, and zip-in liners for both jackets and bibs for those frosty mornings. And best of all, it provides rock-solid performance and function. So wear what the pros wear. Visit frogtogs.com to get your gear today.
Welcome back to the Elite Fishing League and this Winning Ways episode with Round 5 winner, Mark Robinson.
So shortly after my timeout session, after my break off, I get another bite. It's a good fish. He's pulling drag, pulling drag.
I feel like I've never fought a fish before.
He gets me wrapped up in my tower. I'm having a hard time. I'm not used to fishing with a tower on the front of my boat. He's got me going through monkey bars and all kind of crazy stuff.
Woo! Good one. Oh, I got a cramp in my arm. A cramp in my hand. Woo! I don't want to drop him. I can't afford another penalty. Told you I saw the mullet jumping over here.
6.90.
That's what I needed right there. I feel a lot better. They love it. They love it. Solid fish, right at 7 pounds, 6.9 I think. It was a great fish. I get him in the net, put him on the scale. I'm moving up quick now.
That brings this total to 21.8 pounds. You have 14.05 pounds.
Cool.
You're 7.75 pounds out of the lead.
Now what I needed 2 fish to win out my round. My marshal gave me an advisory saying that they had a storm brewing up to the north side and it was moving straight for us. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I can hear some rumbling going on in the background and I turn around and look, you know, in 30 minutes he said it was gonna be on us. So at that point, I knew I was kinda in panic mode. I needed 2 fish at that point. So to catch 2 fish and I was already struggling with a storm coming, I was pretty much fighting for a winning chance pretty much at that point. Dude, I can't bite a bite.
So we have Kevin Harvey's right behind me. We got Austin Angel, he's coming up. We got Paul Briley, they're all catching fish now. My score tracker has been going off and I'm getting nervous. I haven't been catching fish.
I'm just gonna go back to that one little spot and we're just gonna loop around that little spot where I caught them and finish our day right there.
We've got about an hour and a half left to fish and then the score tracer goes off. And I'm like, we don't have much time. We're about to get ran off. Kevin Harvey catches another one and now he's getting right on my heels.
Ain't over with yet, baby. One more fish.
If these storms continue to build like they're doing right now on the radar just north of us, possible stoppage to fishing time.
So then I go down, come around, bang, I catch another 3-pounder.
Never thought I'd be winning a tournament with 3-pounders.
I'm at 24 pounds. Kevin has only caught 3 fish all day, so I don't think he's gonna catch another one. So I'm just gonna stick it out. I'm gonna cast a few more times. Got a water spout right there. Oh, big mud bowl right there. All of a sudden the wind just starts ripping. I make a couple more casts and I'm like, we gotta get out of here. I don't care if Kevin catches another one. I'm not staying here. We gotta go. We had a water spout trying to pop up in front of us. I turned around, I saw a bridge behind us. I said, we're gonna go to that bridge. I know there's a boat ramp there and we're gonna get out of this weather. We get there, we pull in.
They called it.
They called it?
Yeah.
We get the text and they tell me, Mark Robinson, you're the winner of this elimination round. And I'm thinking, I'm blown away, you know. This is awesome. My first tournament of the year, my first win.
That was insane.
So now they tell me I'm the winner. We're standing under a bridge. It's raining sideways. Can't really celebrate with anybody, but at the same time, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think just Mark just knowing this area. I asked him after the round was over. I said, Mark, did you have any knowledge for his past tournaments? Won out? He said, yeah. He said I had about 4 spots. He said I've won tournaments, and he said one spot in particular I caught a 3-pound hole, and pretty much those 2 3-pound fish that he caught to give him 6 pounds, and he won by 5. Pretty much put him over the top. Just having knowledge in this area, knowing where to go when the clock's ticking.
I get to move on to the championship, and this is awesome. I've got some really good competitors that I've got to go up against, and they're going to be extremely hard to beat. But I know I've made it this far. I have a chance. I can still win this. So if I win the championship, That's gonna be the real goal now.
Congratulations, Mark, on your big win in the final round of the regular season. Tune in next week for an EFL special presentation, The Road to the Championship, where we look back at each of the 5-round winners and how they made it through to the Tidewater Boats Tour Championship. Please visit EliteFishingLeague.com, and to catch more exciting video content, check out the Elite Fishing League on YouTube. Closed captioning provided by McClain Trailers, the official trailer of the Elite Fishing League.
McClain Trailers, the official trailer of the Elite Redfish Series. Check It Stick, the official measuring system of the Elite Redfish Series.